really familiar. I've seen you before, haven't I?
Barry.
Barry.
Barry Allen.
Right, sorry.
Some people are just meant to be in your life.
What am I going to do here?
Well, I can think of a few things. Might need a stretch first, though. You told me the dead don't want anything. Either I'm willing to do whatever is necessary, or I shouldn't be up there.
Which is exactly why I can't be.
You can't kill murder. You can't get revenge on evil. You can only fight them where they live.
X-Men. Hello, everybody. We're back. So, where do we leave off? Yes, welcome back to part 2 of the Fandom Zone, episode 85. And, we did part 1 yesterday, where we covered the first 2 parts of the Invasion 3.00001 episode crossover. And we also talked about The Walking Dead and Lucifer for good measure.
Good.
So, unfortunately, Karen was a little tired, a little sleepy, so...
I was a little.
So we decided to break this up. So apologies, but...
I had a storm cloud over my head is what I had from a headache. But I'm feeling better today.
Yay!
So there's that.
So
today we are going to be talking about Arrow, Season 5, Episode 8, Invasion Part 3.
Mm-hmm.
Which you acknowledge is only Invasion Part 2.
Yes. Well, not really. Actually, you could almost
you just call it Invasion.
Well, yeah, but you could just pretty much use The Flash as Part 1 and Legends of Tomorrow as Part 2.
Oh, I see.
Because Arrow, you could just cut that right out and you really wouldn't miss much, right?
That's true. It's just Arrow 100.
There you go. Arrow 100.
Arrow Episode 100, which is exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Legends of Tomorrow.
So hooray for more syndication money.
That's right. Although it doesn't have to be 100 anymore. Did you know that?
No, it's usually 65 at least.
Right.
But 100,
but 100
gets you a sweeter deal.
Exactly.
Right.
Legends of Tomorrow, Season 2, Episode 7, Invasion Part 4.
Mm-hmm.
Gotham, Season 3, Episode 11, Beware the Green-Eyed Monster.
Right.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, Season 4, Episode 7, Deals with Our Devil. And finally, Luke Cage, Season 1, Episode 9, DWYCK. DWYCK.
Yeah, which is an acronym.
Yeah. For...
Hold on, I'll look it up real quick, since we brought it up.
It reminds me of the episode of The Office where they kept changing Dwight's name in the computer so that it misspelled.
Right. Well,
Dwight or whatever. DWYCK.
Like with all the episode titles in Luke Cage's first season, it's all a Gang Starr song title.
Right.
But this one, like the Urban Dictionary has it as "Do What You Can, Kid."
Okay.
So.
Can kid.
But I don't think there was ever an official explanation.
Okay. But I'm sure that's what it is.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Cool. But it's DWYCK.
DWYCK. Yeah. DWYCK.
Right.
And I have no idea what that has to do with the episode.
No, me.
But I think that's just like, well, we got to fill up an episode title here. Okay, that song.
And that's kind of what the episode is, although it was a decent episode.
Yeah, it was. All right.
They're all good.
So
shall we start with Arrow?
Yes. Let's start with Arrow, kind of picking up where we left off.
Mm-hmm. Invasion Part 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it was written by
Teleplay Mark Guggenheim and Wendy Miracle, showrunners.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out, Wendy Miracle's involved.
I know.
Just saying.
Yeah. Is that everything?
Director James Manford.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So pretty much the main crew, and you would expect that from episode 100,
right,
that they would want their hands all over that episode.
Mm-hmm.
So my A story, B story, C story is no flashbacks yet. All the flashbacks. The whole episode was essentially flashbacks.
So you basically could go through this episode going, okay, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead.
Right, but we also saw flashbacks through each person's eyes as they were remembering
Right.
what had actually happened.
That's true, because their memories, like, they recollected what was going on in their lives.
Right, so they saw, like, their mother getting killed in a flashback and that sort of thing. So actually saw a flashback through their mirages, I guess.
Hallucinations or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, B story. Of course she's whiny.
In the Matrix.
Even in her dreams.
Yep. Gee, I wonder who you're talking about. Whiny character on Arrow. Who would that be?
And I only put that in because there isn't really much of another story in there. And then after they get out, head-to-head battles. There's more than one.
Right.
So those are the battles in the episode afterwards.
It's the Battle of the Network Stars.
I miss those.
I loved Battle of the Network Stars back then. We've talked about this.
Yeah. I really miss those.
This is like a Gen X thing. So if you millennials don't get it, that's cool. I get it. But
we really need to get Stephen Amell on board with that because I think he would be the one to pick up the torch.
Well, from what I understand, he's going for that American Ninja thing.
Okay, well,
he's seriously looking at that.
Stars.
Yeah.
And that would be Battle of the Network Stars, right?
Right.
If they could do American Ninja Warriors.
Even if they did like a Battle of the CW Network Stars, you get all the superhero shows, like 4 teams. You got the Arrow team, you got the Legends team, you got the Flash team, and you got the Supergirl team.
Right.
And then they would compete.
But you could still get all of them, like Supernatural and
iZombie
and all of them, right?
Yeah.
And we could call it like Superstar American Ninja Warrior. And that would be
What is this bizarre segue like that?
But sanctioned.
We still need that Monty Python. Get on with it.
No. Okay, so it was obviously they were beamed up in the last episode and taken on board the ship.
Beam me up, Scotty.
They were beamed up.
Yep.
And the aliens had taken them on board the ship in order to probe their minds.
Not an anal probe, I hope.
Well, we don't know. They did take off all their clothes and put them into another outfit.
Well, I was just minding my business, walking in the field, and then all of a sudden this huge satellite dish came sticking out of my butt.
Right?
And then Scott Baio gave me pink eye.
Well, I have to say, they all had their gear on.
Right.
Brandon Routh had all his new Atom gear on. Where did he get that back?
Good question. They didn't even bother explaining how they escaped. It was all, we escaped somehow.
Right. Yeah.
So just total hand wave of the lot.
The Wave Rider pulled them in with the tractor beam and then, we're out.
Right. Yeah. Pretty much.
We got our clothes back and we got out of the ship.
So all we can guess is that everybody's stuff was lying in a pile somewhere because they had taken off their clothes and put these little like fabric-y things on. Oh yeah.
You know the aliens wanted to see that. Well,
visitors. Oh.
Right?
Right.
Okay, so yeah, they took all the people on board that weren't metahuman, and this is an important point.
Yes.
Going forward, because they don't have anything against the people they took on board.
Right. They just wanted to throw them into the Matrix for a while.
Well, they were kind of, hey, look in this hand.
Yeah.
Look what I have in this hand.
Right.
That will distract you from what's in this hand.
A little misdirection.
Right.
Yeah. The old shell game.
I guess that's not a good Gilbert Gottfried impression. I was doing my Beverly Hills Cop too.
Oh, okay.
How much money could I have in this hand?
That's better.
Okay.
That's good. Now I get it.
So yeah, they didn't do. They were just trying to misdirect a little bit. Plus, they were probing to see, like, I guess what they could
Probing.
do
Oh yeah.
on Earth.
Phrasing.
Phrasing. Yeah, I do have phrasing.
Phrasing.
There we go.
I guess to see what was going on Earth, what they could do on Earth.
Right.
Yeah. Although they did that in 1951, but maybe they hadn't done it yet, as we find out later.
Well, maybe it's a different bunch of aliens that wanted to give it a try.
There you go.
You know, like different dominators.
Yeah. They wanted to dominate more.
Because I can't imagine they would have the exact same crew 30 years later. Or, no, even more than that, yeah, so.
Yeah, they wanted to dominate again.
I mean, 50 years later.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get some 50 Shades.
Oh, yeah. 50 Shades of Alien. Sweet Christmas.
They were great.
That's true.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's stop with the innuendo.
Little dominating the dominators.
What they were doing, they put them in these pods and they made them imagine they were in a different reality where everything was wonderful and they wanted to stay there.
Right.
So
And it was kind of the same thing for the audience, because the audience gets the nice little flashback of, hey, everybody, remember season 1 when you really loved this show? And, you know, all your favorite characters were there. There was Moira, and there was Robert Queen, and and there's Tommy, and all this.
Tommy wasn't there.
Well, he's holographic Tommy, but
yeah.
Okay, but Laura was there.
Yeah, Robert Queen was never on the show, really.
He was in the flashbacks.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
And now here is the funny part about Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw my little note there.
I did.
Where they said that Tommy's new job as a doctor in Chicago, and he has joined Chicago Med as a new series regular.
What do you want to bet they tried to get him, and they couldn't because of his schedule conflict?
Right, so they decided to throw that line in.
Just to say, hey, buddy.
Hilarious.
You knew this was coming.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was great. I mean, talk about meta. And, of course, she's whiny even in her dreams. Thea decides she doesn't want to leave. And here's my question to you.
Yes.
She puts this question to Ollie and says, you know, why can't I stay here? I'll play the clip in a second.
Yeah.
I'll do my impression because, you know, I'm sure Phil is waiting.
I know I am.
Okay. So she wants to stay. Charles is sitting there with his hands, his face on his
chin. My chin is resting on my fists.
Right. Going. So she says to Ollie, "Why can't I stay?" You know, and Oliver says, "Okay, fine. Be healthy. Be good." He knows the aliens have taken them hostage. How long does he think she can stay there? They're going to kill her, most likely, right?
Right.
So why would he allow her to stay?
Maybe he's tired of her too. Just saying.
It's so dumb.
Right.
That he would just say, "Oh, well, live in health." No.
Yeah.
Your aliens have you hostage, dum-dum.
Can I bring up a very important point?
Sure.
Wendy Miracle co-wrote this script.
Okay. Okay, I got you there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enough said?
Or do you think that perhaps he would have gotten out and then just grabbed her and left?
Well, it's Oliver, so he's traditionally a liar. So
sure.
Rule 1, Oliver Queen
Oliver's
lies.
always lying.
Yeah. So
always lying. Yeah.
So he probably wanted to pacify her so she wouldn't be whining about it, and then it's like, okay, I'll just grab her and go.
Shut up. Yeah. Okay, so
here's the clip.
Yeah, you can't wait, right?
I can't wait. I'm excited.
We can't stay here, Speedy, no matter how much we want to. We can't.
Why not? What is waiting for us wherever we are right now? Nothing. Nothing but pain and suffering.
Leo, we have responsibilities. We have people who count on us.
There's Flash and Supergirl and people with actual powers now. Whatever needs to be done, they can handle it. We finally have a chance to be happy. But yeah, a chance to be happy. Let me stay here with my family, and I'll let you go. Even though you're my family, and you're actually alive, and these people aren't alive.
Right? Oh my god, when I watched this scene, I was like,
Yeah, I can't imagine why Oliver would not want to get rid of that.
right? Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Right? Of course he's just going to go, all right,
You know
live
what?
healthy. See you later.
Maybe I could always just adopt another sister.
Hey, that Kara chick is pretty cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Except he didn't think she was cool, did he?
No, he was one of many people that were a dick to Supergirl.
Right?
I feel bad for Barry because Barry brings her back and think, oh, hey, everybody's going to be nice to my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And no, everybody's a
Not so
complete
much.
tool
I know.
to Supergirl.
I know. I will have something to say about that in the Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
But okay, so he decides to leave her alone there. But once they get out,
Hmm.
and by the way, there's this whole thing. He's gonna marry Laurel. He sees all these other people. Of course, he never went on the Queen's Gambit. They never crashed on the island. His mother and father are alive. His father's gonna be the mayor. He's
And presumably this is before Sarah decided to switch teams.
right. Although, no, it's not true. Laurel says something about, I've got some guys here that I might want to set you up with. And she says to her, you know, I don't play for that team.
Oh, right.
She does say something to that effect.
But she was involved with Oliver.
I know she was. But she, somewhere in her mind,
Right.
there's something.
Maybe that's because that was a good indication of not being, it wasn't
Right.
the real world.
Right.
Okay.
And all of them see that Smoke Industries building, and that's the kind of touchstone that makes them all aware that this might not be right.
Well, especially Ray. Ray is just like, oh, Felicity Smoke.
Right. Right. That is not my fiance.
It seemed like he'd gotten
And-
tipped onto that before Oliver did. Like
No,
Oliver.
Oliver did.
Oh, Oliver
but-
did? Okay.
Yeah, but he saw it and he was like, "What?" They all saw it and kind of tilted their head, but Oliver was the one who, of course, it's Arrow. I mean, Oliver's going to be
It's
the
his
one.
show. It's
Right.
his show. Yeah, exactly.
And he's the one that followed the guy who was, the Green Arrow, the Hood,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And that
and of
turns
course
out to be
Diggle,
Diggle.
and Felicity was his assistant.
Can we just talk about how hilarious it was to have Diggle doing the season 1 Oliver Queen voice
Right,
as the Hood?
right.
Like, oh, he talks all gruff. I'm the
It was
Hood.
great. No one could know my secret. That's what he said. And I was
I don't know who you are.
right.
Yeah.
But he talks to him and he
Skirt.
Kurt, call me.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, okay.
What are you doing here, Heatwave?
Sorry. Yeah, I know. I do. I transform, don't I?
You do. You're like
I
you
become
you
that
are a
person.
chameleon.
Yeah, thank you. So not true. Okay, so all this stuff's happening, but all of them come together and they realize that this is not real. And Thea, after this, I want to stay here with my family. After that,
Yeah.
she decides she's going to come out and she's going to stay with her real, alive family, who is Oliver. And the aliens have put their villain in
Mhm.
front of them. So for her, it's her dad.
Malcolm,
For,
yeah.
for Oliver, it's Deathstroke. For
And sadly, it wasn't, what's his name, playing Deathstroke.
I know it was just a guy in
Yeah, it's just, and
costume.
he doesn't even have any dialogue.
Right. He was just
Yeah, just
Yeah.
stuntman.
right. And of course, Damien Dark for Sarah. Who else did we have there?
As far as I know, then they had like mercenaries.
For Diggle and
Yeah,
okay.
just some expendables.
Okay. So they were taking on these villains, and there was a big fight, and they win because they're our heroes, and that's how it works.
It's episode 100, so yeah.
Right. So they win, and they end up waking up from the stasis or whatever, and then they're walking through the halls in these weird
They're like pajamas.
sackcloth pajamas.
Yep. They're like hippie commune
Yeah, exactly.
pajamas clothes.
Linen sort of.
Yeah.
And Oliver finds this kick-ass gun, which I put in my timeline on Twitter. I thought it was really cool looking. And when I slowed it down, the special effects actually looked really good.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't cheesy at all. It was like fire coming out of it, hitting the aliens, and it was really nice looking.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was happy with that. But yeah, they take out a few aliens, and then the Wave Rider with Felicity. No, who has the Wave Rider?
Well, first, okay, I've got a note here that, okay, so they get a hold of their stuff somehow, and then they're getting fired. They hijack this alien jump ship.
Right.
And Thea activates this thing by pressing a touchpad.
Right.
So
Because
Thea figures out
like,
okay, just boop. Okay, there's my contribution to today's episode.
That's right. And they get into the little chairs. Right.
Yes,
I
right?
forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boop. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what happened. I forgot about that. So they take the jump ship and they leave.
Yep.
That must have been where all their gear was in the jump ship, of course.
Well, that would save time, wouldn't it? Because
Sure.
hey, we only have a 42-minute show here, so we have to kind of wrap this up.
So the aliens were kind enough to
Right.
put their gear into the jump ship,
Right.
waiting for them.
And then once they're on the jump ship, Ray's sitting there pondering. He's going ponder, ponder, ponder.
Uh-huh.
And he goes like, well, the Dominators distracted us by probing, like, the whole thing was a distraction so that they could probe our non-metahuman subconscious.
Uh-huh.
How he knows this, I have no idea.
I know.
But,
Of course you wouldn't jump to that conclusion.
yeah, it's not a very logical conclusion, is it?
No. And he does remember the line, the words that they said, which...
Yeah, it's like a Dominator phrase he hears.
Right.
And then on the Gideon translates the phrase to, quote, "We are nearing completion of the weapon."
Right. Right. And there's a scene down on the ground where the Arrowlettes
Mm-hmm.
fight Laura Washington, who is, I think, LaTanya Charles, Cyborg Girl.
Some people have speculated this, although they didn't confirm it.
No, but I think that's who they were going for. I mean, it's pretty much a carbon copy of the character.
Right.
Eye patch.
They refer to her, from what I read, they refer to her as Cyber Woman.
Yeah.
But
so
still,
whatever.
yeah, it's Cyber Girl.
Yeah, so she has all this stuff, all these implants and everything. And Curtis, when is he going to stop with the cheesy lines? Is he ever going to stop with the cheesy lines?
No, because,
He's kind of attached to that implant.
well, he's the gay character, so therefore we have to, like, make him flamboyant, I guess, is the reasoning.
That's really annoying.
It is annoying. He deserves better. He's Mr.
He
Freaking
deserves
Terrific.
better. Way better. Way
And
better than that.
yeah, he's basically comic relief. Like, well, he's the Felicity to Felicity. So
Yeah,
he's like
but
he's the assistant Felicity.
he's the assistant to the assistant.
Right. So he deserves better. He's Mr.
He
Terrific.
really
He should be like a complete badass.
He should be. And It just bothers me when he comes out with
Yeah.
the line like
And
that.
he's supposed to be like supposedly really intelligent, and we rarely get to see that.
Right. I don't mind that he's excited by all this. I really don't,
Right.
because it is new. But when he throws out a line like that and they all just look at him like, oh, you're an idiot.
I think if they would tone down the immaturity,
Yeah,
he would be much more effective as a character.
I agree.
So
Okay, so then there's
Oh,
that. They take the technology and they
Right.
hack the alien technology. And
Ragman figures out something though.
okay,
Ragman figures out that the alien tech is transmitting into a type of gematria, which is like the numerology of the Torah, because
Right.
he's Jewish.
right.
So, in which each letter corresponds to a number. And
Right.
supposedly this allows them to crack the latitude and longitude, which show up as negatives.
Right.
That's
Which means they're in space.
Exactly.
Right.
So then it's like, oh crap. There's where they are. We got to go get them. And who goes to get them? Well, hey, all of a sudden, we get the Millennium Wave Rider.
Right.
Because there was a great moment where they're getting fired upon. They're in the jump ship, and all looks bleak. And then all of a sudden, coming out of the star with the background, just like in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And you got like whoever's, I forget who was piloting the Wave Rider, but it's just like, oh, it was Citizen Steel.
Right.
Right? So he's piloting the Wave Rider, and he's like getting all Han Solo going, Yahoo!
Right. And he picks them up.
And he comes right out, and everybody's just like, yes! Millennium Wave Rider to the rescue. Nate, thank you.
Yeah, so they pick him up, and that's pretty much the end of the episode, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I have a new arrow.
Because they realize there's a mothership on direct course for Earth. Dun, dun, dun.
Right. When they find out
Yeah.
the weapon is almost done.
Yeah, so that's basically...
My new arrow drinking game is whenever Ollie says, give us a minute. You take a drink.
He does say that a lot.
He does. When he's dismissing someone, when he
Mhm.
has to talk to someone,
Yeah.
when he has to have a heart-to-heart with someone or
Right.
talk to someone.
Or
else.
like he gets rid of one of his aides at the mayoral office.
Right. Give us a minute.
Yeah.
He tilts his head. Give
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Take a drink. You'll be drunk by the end of the hour.
Or you could just like drink when Thea whines, and you'll be completely hammered within 5 minutes.
Exactly.
I want to stay here in this dream.
He's
Yeah.
not Beaker, but
Yeah.
close. Yeah.
Yeah. The tears coming from the eyes.
So stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you give this episode?
Uh,
Actually, you liked it.
I actually liked it too. I gave it 8.5 because it wasn't the typical Arrow episode. So I gave it 8.5 Millennium Wave Riders because that was a great moment. I thought it was, I'm a sucker for a Star Wars type reference,
Yeah.
and that was basically it.
And again, I did like this episode. I shouldn't really be.
And we got to
telling
see
you
like
down,
some old people, like we got to see Moira and a bunch of old people.
Right.
So
but
I thought it would have been better had they just isolated episode 100 and they had another episode for the crossover.
right. Well, they did kind of do that.
Well,
but-
I know that, but I mean,
Yeah.
but I think it would have been as good as it was. I think it would have been better
if the other
if it was
stuff
if it
around
wasn't.
it-
Yeah, so that you didn't have to bookend it with the invasion stuff.
Right. I get it. The
I thought it should have been just a celebration of Arrow.
right. The dream sequences were really cool.
Yeah.
And if that would have filled an hour, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I gave it 8 awesome-looking Dominator guns
Because it was awesome.
It was.
It was. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. All right.
Legends of Tomorrow, Season 2, Episode 7,
Guess what the
Awesome.
title is?
titled Invasion.
Invasion. So, yes. So here we are at the big conclusion at last.
That's right.
Teleplay by Phil Klemmer and Mark Guggenheim, showrunners.
Hmm?
And directed by Gregory Smith.
Okay. Who is he? Did he do anything
I
else?
do not know.
Okay. Just wondering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some guy they found walking down the street.
Okay. A story. And
Hey, you
let's
want to
see-
direct the final part of our 4-part crossover?
Sure.
All right. Whatever you say.
All right. What is it? What is this? Is this a what? Is this a comedy? All right.
We'll give you a bag of donut holes.
Awesome. Hey, nice callback.
Thank you.
For the podcast.
Yeah, for a little side here, Karen was eating some donut holes before we started this
I was.
part 2. So,
I was scarfing them. They were
and
good.
I was jealous because I loves me the donut holes.
I had 8, which was a serving. Just so you guys know.
Serving. Drools.
All right. So here's my A story, B story, C story.
Yep.
Let's see if you can recognize which the A story is.
Okay.
Yay, time travel. Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? That is Cisco.
Yes.
B story, we don't need no stinking martyrs.
Martyrs? We don't need no stinking martyrs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
C story, I guess I'll keep her.
Okay.
Someone has a daughter.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out where that was going. Okay. So, yay, time travels. Oh, wait. Time travel. Oh, wait. Did I say that out loud? So, up until now, Cisco has been Debbie Downer Cisco toward Barry.
Right. Except the minute he's offered a chance to time travel.
And granted, you would take that chance.
Of course.
Most people, because time travel is awesome.
And he jumps at it, but does he think about the consequences before he does? No. And does he think about what Barry might have thought when he had... No.
Hypocrite.
Right.
Excuse me, that just kind of coughed up there.
And the minute he and Felicity got all excited about going to time travel, I went, you are such a hypocrite.
Total
Cisco.
hypocrites, yes.
Such a hypocrite that you are jumping for joy to go back in time. Because the minute you step foot in the past, you're doing exactly what Barry did.
If we want to give Cisco a name, we should just call him Hypocrite Lad. Because he's Hypocrite Lad.
He is. And boy, did he learn his lesson, didn't he?
And I'm glad they did this.
Me too.
Because it was actually an effective resolution to Cisco having this bug up his ass about Barry's time traveling.
It was. It taught him a big time lesson.
Right.
And it also gave a nice bookend to the Dominator storyline.
Right.
And it also kind of kept Flashpoint in the forefront of... I mean, we still are not done with Flashpoint.
No, I was kind of a little frustrated because on top of the invasion stuff, where you're trying to bring in some new viewers, they're throwing all the Flashpoint stuff back up.
Right.
And I thought it was just too much for the viewer to
deal with.
Probably.
New viewers,
right, exactly. You know, like, it'd be one thing if if it was just an average episode.
Right.
But this is supposed to be something special. Now, granted, you want to kind of tease a little bit of Flashpoint to get people intrigued, but I thought they kind of piled it on.
You killed my brother, and someone's going, huh?
Yeah,
what?
It's like, what? Yeah, what is exactly? That's my point, because you'd be
how is he a hero?
A new viewer would walking into that be like, okay, why? What's the deal with his brother being dead? I don't get this.
And how could Flash kill somebody's brother?
Right. Because if you're like somebody who watches Legends but doesn't watch The Flash or whatever, you might be a little confused. So I get that. So in this case with Cisco, what we're talking about, there's a scene where Cisco and Nate vibe aboard this mothership to talk with the Dominator.
With the technology that they took from the Doctor that they ended up making into some sort of...
And we find out that this was the same Dominator from the 1950s.
Right. That they saved from the 1950s dude.
Right.
The square-headed, glasses-wearing dude.
Yeah. Played by Donnelly Rhodes.
Oh, really?
Who was Dutch on Soap. That's where I first know him from.
Really?
Yeah, that's Dutch from Soap.
Oh.
Which is another Gen X
where
reference.
I recognize him from.
Yep. That's Donnelly Rhodes.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
He plays glasses.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was like, okay.
That's why I'm here. You see, I'm old enough, I would get that reference. But
yeah, no, I get it.
Okay. So again, another Gen X reference
that
most people won't get. But
that show was awesome.
Yeah. I love Soap. That was a great show. It gave us Billy Crystal. We gotta love that show.
Well, I didn't love it for that.
Okay.
What's her name from Who's the Boss was on it as well?
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Catherine.
Catherine Hellman.
That's it.
Yes, she's great too. She played
Yeah.
Jessica.
That's right.
Yeah. Do 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 do. Tune in next time on Soap.
I
Yeah.
loved
All
it.
right, it's a great show. Okay, so yeah, they go to talk to this Dominator, who reveals that the Dominators are all about the metahumans eventually destroying Earth.
Right.
And apparently that's their whole raison d'etre.
Mm-hmm. That they've seen all these other planets evolve metahumans, and the metahumans become a threat
Right.
to other Earths.
So they're like, it's just a matter of time before you guys blow yourself up with the metahumans.
Right. So we got to get rid of you.
Blown up real good.
Right. However,
meanwhile...
oh, by the way, they're still using that building.
Oh, yes, they are.
Which is awesome.
The Hall of Justice.
Right. I took a screenshot of it. I think I'm going to use it as my desktop.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's
actually in the artwork for the crossover. It's in the background. Yeah, where they have all like they've got a series of 4 posters, like the Supergirl, Flash, etc. And in the background is the Hall of Justice, and it's an interlocking poster.
Nice
Image. So
I like.
Yeah. So apparently, if the Metas didn't travel to 1951 to free that Dominator, they wouldn't be targets in the first place.
Right.
So, Cisco.
Cisco.
Guess who's responsible for that? Cisco.
The invasion.
You caused the invasion.
That's right.
Not Barry Allen.
Nope.
You.
Yep.
You, Mr. Holier Than Thou. How could you time travel and accidentally erase my brother, even though you didn't do it deliberately?
Right. So
shut your pie hole.
Who learned a lesson? Who
Mhm.
learned a lesson?
I did.
Yeah. So, of course, when he gets back, he's all contrite.
Yeah, he better be.
Yeah. Although he doesn't fess up to it,
No.
all he says is, "You're my friend now." That's it. That's all we get.
You notice Barry wasn't a dick and didn't throw him under the bus the way Cisco
Certainly
threw Barry under the bus.
He certainly did not.
It's because Barry's awesome.
Because Barry is a bigger person.
Apparently. That's why he's the hero and it's his show and not
Cisco's
yours.
just the tech guy.
You're just the comic relief.
That's right. Yeah. I thought that was a pretty
Buster.
nice thing that he did. That he didn't just kind of go, "See, I told you."
Yeah.
Dumbass.
See, and well, Barry, of course, is better than that. He's not going to, say, "See, I told you so."
Right. Because he's living with it. Barry is.
Yeah. He's dealing with it, and he's owning it.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing he needed was Cisco writing him about it.
Mm-hmm.
So at least that finally puts that to an end, hopefully.
Right. Well, let's hope so.
Yeah, don't bring
He's
it up.
still tortured
Let it go. Just
by.
move on.
Right.
Let's just move on with this stuff.
Yeah, but he does show Oliver the paper. The paper that says that it was written by someone else, and
Right.
Iris isn't his wife or whatever. And
Yeah.
so he is still tortured by it. Now, the Cisco's thing might be out of the way.
I still think that somehow the timeline's going to get changed again.
I think so, too.
Somehow it'll get restored so that the original headline on the Central City
Comes back.
Citizen comes back, and yeah, or Picture News. Excuse me, Picture News.
I hope so.
Yeah. All right, so there's that, and we don't need no stinking martyrs.
That is when the Dominators say that the only way they will leave is when they take Barry. Barry prepares himself to leave.
He steps up to the plate. He's willing to
He does.
sacrifice himself.
But who's the one that says no?
Oliver.
No. Mick.
Oh,
Kind of.
Well, he was a part of the group.
Yeah, I know.
Oliver starts it because Barry starts walking off, and then Oliver says, no,
Stop.
stop.
Right.
And then he turns around, and then Oliver makes this little speech, and he says, "No, wait, you need to stay. You're not going to go." And then everybody else chimes in, and then Mick says, "Well, I don't really like you,
Right.
but..."
He says, we're a crew, and crews stick together. And I like the Barry comes back, and he's like, well, I'm not a big fan of being compared to criminals, but, and then I think Nate says something kind of prophetic. He says, well, maybe we are kind of criminals,
Vigilantes.
but maybe we do more good than harm.
Right.
So we all got to stick together and fight back.
Yeah, so which they do. They whip up some devices to attach to the Dominators. Flash and Supergirl speed off to attach because they got the super speed, so they get to go attach all the devices to the Dominators all over the country.
Right. While the rest of them are keeping the Dominators busy.
Right.
That landed in Star City.
And Firestorm actually gets a good little big moment to himself because it's up to Firestorm to transmute the bomb, the metagene bomb, that the Dominators are going to detonate. And he's not sure he can do it. But Professor Stein brings up his daughter, his newly timeline daughter,
right,
and says that, yeah, so do it for her.
Right.
So,
and he ends up
turning it into like a liquid.
Right, using his nuclear atom.
So, as Firestorm fan, I was really excited that finally we get some transmutation.
Yep, that was very cool.
So, like, that's Firestorm's key power that separates him from a lot of the superheroes. So, it's about time we finally got to see that instead of just fire blasts.
Right.
Because he's more than that.
He's an atomic.
Well, yeah, he's a nuclear. Yeah, he's basically a walking nuclear reactor, but he should be able to affect the atomic structure of things like he does in the comics. So I was glad to see that happen. Yep. So
he changed the atoms.
He did. So I understand if you don't want to do that all the time, put some limits on it.
Right.
So he's not too powerful. But we should see it every so often.
Right. And we did.
And we did finally.
And I want to say something else about something that we saw in this episode.
Yeah.
Oliver gives Kara the cold shoulder, and I do mean the cold shoulder in this episode.
Everybody is a dick to Supergirl.
You know why, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they couldn't put in the budget Barry and Kara's SFX.
So we had to write Supergirl out for a while.
Right.
Yes.
So they had to do this. Give us a minute. Barry.
Nice. I see what you. Nice callback.
Thank you.
Very nice.
And then he talks to her. He really does do that, by the way.
I understand that.
He says that, sends Barry away.
So take a drink, everybody.
Right. And talks to her and says, I thought, first I thought that people were the new normal. And then I thought that metahumans were, and now aliens are the new normal. So you just got to give me some space on that. Well, that's pretty much what he says, right? That he can only take a certain amount of stuff at a time. And I'm thinking to myself, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I was thinking about this. Okay, so I think, and we've talked about this, that how Arrow is essentially this world's Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So his reaction to Supergirl, meeting Supergirl for the first time, is essentially Batman's reaction to meeting Superman for the first time.
Right.
Batman is all dark and broody and whatnot, and Superman and Supergirl are very hopeful, optimistic, bright characters.
Which he hates.
Which he is. So it's kind of the antithesis. So therefore, because, Bruce and Oliver are mopey, being all mopey, then they just naturally have this tendency to just resist against it.
Right.
Just they're rebelling against it.
Go away.
Go away, you happy person.
He's learned to deal with Barry.
Yeah.
Because Barry is very close.
I think it because Barry's younger than him, but so is Supergirl.
Can deal with it. Yeah. But he doesn't know how to deal with that.
I guess he figures, he sees Barry as like a little brother.
Yeah.
As opposed to Supergirl.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know Kara, so yeah. Maybe that will change.
Maybe.
Maybe
Now
he'll see her as
she-
like a little sister. Like, hey, I could trade in Thea for Supergirl, like you
Yes.
said.
Yeah.
Upgrade.
You could do way worse.
Upgrade.
Like keeping the one you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you notice they didn't get Thea for Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes.
She was not at the party.
Yeah, we had to write her out totally because we know she's completely useless.
Right.
All she's going to do is whine, so we don't need that.
Right.
The Legends writers were like, okay, we can't deal with that on our show. We gotta
Right. Get her out.
cut it out.
They actually said something about it too. They come back and he says to, was it Barry? I don't remember who he says it to, but hey, thanks for getting my sister back to Star City.
Yeah.
He says it to someone.
Well,
and
they
I'm
had to
like,
explain why she's not
"Right."
there.
Yeah, I know.
I can just picture Thea. Well, I know I could really help out with this alien invasion, but I really need to get back to Star City to mope
Yeah.
and whine about stuff.
I gotta take care of all the mayor stuff with Clinton. He's drinking again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta make sure he gets to me.
Well, no, he's in rehab, but yeah, like,
Yeah, whatever.
I know.
Who's the mayor then?
There's the deputy mayor. Yeah, good point. Who is the mayor? Well, Oliver's gone. Deputy mayor's in rehab.
It's all running amok.
Wendy Miracle. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
So, anything else about this? Oh, and we did get this. I guess I'll keep her. I forgot about that. Let's
The
do
daughter.
Yeah. Lily, which I think is a
that her
great
name?
name. Lily. Lily Stein.
Okay.
So,
Professor Stein has a daughter,
yep.
and he has no idea who she is.
Right.
But apparently he talked his younger self into doing it with his wife.
Well, he made a point that, he was trying to get his younger self to like stop focusing on his work. Oh
Right.
yeah. So apparently he did.
Right.
And
And
he
he
and
focused on
he
other
and
stuff.
Clarissa got a little busy.
That's right. A lot busy. And they had a kid.
Yep.
And
Knocked her up real good.
he had discussions with people, mostly Caitlin,
Right.
and said that he was gonna, after all this stuff went down where she helped him defeat the Dominators.
Because
That he was
apparently
gonna-
she's just as brilliant as he is, if not more so.
She's an atomic physicist like Ray.
Yep.
He was going to go back and change it so that she didn't exist anymore. And after all this stuff was over, he decided that it was something he could live with, so he's going to leave it alone.
Yeah.
And I guess at some point he's going to get to know her.
Well, and he also convinced Jax not to say anything about to the others about his daughter being an aberration.
Right. Although they probably know, right?
I would think, because I would think you would go like,
They're on the ship, too.
so this daughter that you've never mentioned before or had anything about and whatnot. So
Uh-huh.
that I just lost the camera feed, so to you, so just
Yeah.
that's weird, but that's okay. Don't worry.
No,
As long
the
as
battery power just went on to my computer.
you're okay.
I'm
Are
just-
you still okay?
I don't know. I hope so.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm still recording, so
Okay.
all right, we'll just keep going. There
Okay.
you are.
Yeah, we'll cross our fingers.
We'll cross our fingers. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so sorry about that, everyone. We just had little technical difficulties here because hooray for Skype.
Yeah.
Yay,
Well, it's not
Skype.
just Skype.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Jesse and I just blame Skype for everything. So
Oh, do you?
yeah,
Good.
because Skype shakes fist. So yeah. Okay, so I guess that's pretty much it. What was your rating, Karen?
I gave it 9 flasks because Sarah had a flask full of hard liquor at the party.
The Fun Flasks.
That's right, which I enjoyed very much.
That's a Gilmore Girls reference. Fun Flasks.
Oh,
Yeah, but
Cool.
same. Yeah. And I give it 9 out of 9 or 9 out of 10 metagene bombs.
very awesome.
So we're totally in sync on that one.
And some lines I liked, of course. Hey, Skirt, call me.
Yeah.
Heatwave, who has completely turned around on Kara. And then,
Yes, I'm glad you included this.
yeah, first of all, Felicity and Kara are talking, and she says, it's like looking in a mirror. Because they look very much alike when she's got her glasses on. Not a lot alike, but I mean, enough that they're both nerds. They're both about the same height.
I think she figures, well, she's a blonde and whatnot. And, yeah.
Right. And they have glasses.
I don't really think they look alike.
No, they don't look alike, but...
Yeah. But maybe that was the gag, that Felicity thinks she looks like that.
Right. And she doesn't.
So, yeah, she doesn't.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then Brandon Routh turns to her and says something so utterly meta.
Yes. I was so happy about this.
I laughed my ass off so hard. You know what's funny? She really looks like my cousin. And I laughed so hard. Of course, because he played Superman.
In Superman Returns.
Which would mean that they would be cousins.
Right.
If she was in that universe or if he was in her universe.
Yes. So that was great. So
which I loved.
Now, we talked about last week in the Outlaw Country episode that how great it would have been to have a meta joke where Brandon Routh says that Citizen Steel was more powerful than Locomotive. So I brought that. But now here we finally got it here. So I'm okay with that.
This one is better than that one.
I agree, but I would like, it would have been great. Yeah, so it's good. This is good. I was happy. I was very happy with this. So that's awesome.
I like this one was a direct reference to it, essentially.
And it was very slyly done, so that was good.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And the way he looked at Felicity like...
Yeah, he cocks his head and is like,
Yeah, it was so good. Yeah, so wonderful.
All right, so that's our big... Yeah, that was our big crossover, so I hope everybody enjoyed it, and I hope you came back for part 2.
What did we give it overall? Let's see, 8, 9...
I'd say probably like an 8.5 average.
Yeah.
You were pretty low on Supergirl.
Yeah, about an 8.5 for me. 8.
Yeah, you do have a lot of, you got 2 9s and 8. So I'd say I did a lot of 8.5s and 9s. So I'd say rough average at 8.5.
Okay.
That's which is great for a crossover.
Yeah, so, it is really good.
And it was a good crossover, so.
They sync together pretty well.
I mean, granted, like I said, you could have done without the Supergirl episode, and you probably could have done without the Arrow episode.
Yeah, the Arrow episode could have been lifted out.
Yeah.
Pretty easily.
I mean, they connect. The puzzles fit.
Sure. Yeah.
But overall, if you just want a quick, okay, I want to condense this to the main stuff, you could just watch The Flash, and then part 2 is Legends of Tomorrow.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
Okay, so moving on, let's go back earlier in the week to Gotham.
Beware the green-eyed monster.
Beware the green-eyed monster. All right, let me flip back to my notes here. Written by John Stevens, directed by executive producer Danny Cannon.
Oh, showrunner.
Yeah, so he directed the mid-season finale because this is the mid-season finale of Gotham.
Right.
Going on hiatus, just like Lucifer.
That's right.
So tonight, which is Monday when we're recording, no Gotham or Lucifer.
Nothing.
So
no Gotham,
which
no
means
Lucifer.
We both get to catch up on Westworld. Yay!
No Supergirl either.
No Supergirl either. That's true.
So nothing essentially.
Yeah.
Is on tonight.
Westworld is tonight.
Yeah, Westworld is tonight.
A day late, but the season finale.
I'm actually gonna watch Westworld and then I might read.
That sounds like
I haven't read in a while.
That is an excellent way to spend an evening, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so what's our A, B, and C for the Gotham?
A story. Safe to say the honeymoon is over?
Yeah.
B story. Mom and Pop caper.
Right.
C story. Friend zoned.
Okay. All right.
But do you know what those are?
Well, I know the honeymoon is over. I'm guessing that has to be Leslie Lee and It's a Mario.
Yes, I'm not going to do it this time.
Ah.
Of
course you would.
Okay, that's it. I'm not going to do it.
Every time I say, It's a Mario.
No, I'm not going to do it again.
Okay.
And it has to be, It's a me, Mario.
It's a me, Mario.
It can't just be, It's a Mario.
I like It's a Mario.
Mario.
It's a me.
Okay, so yeah, they got married.
Okay.
But boy, and one of our theories was right
Yeah.
in that when he was knocked out, he was injected with Alice's blood.
And it's a Mario.
Mario, yeah. By
It's
Jervis.
it's faster than saying it's a me Mario.
It's a Mario.
It's a Mario.
Or you could just say Mario was injected
It's a
with
Mario.
Alice's. Now, I'm guessing he was injected because Jervis was trying to get back at Jane?
I think, well,
Or was he just trying to cause havoc?
I think he was just trying to cause havoc, and I think this was just kind of one of his backup plans.
Yeah,
Like, okay, maybe if my one scheme doesn't work, at least this will still happen.
right. So, mayhem,
That's the vibe I got.
chaos.
I could be wrong, but
And if it hurts James in the process, then
right.
yay. Okay, so
So yeah, they try to get Mario tested because Gordon's all suspicious that.
but
Bum, 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 bum,
there you go.
Thank you. So yeah, Lucius Fox says, "Oh, guess what? Mario's cleared of the virus." And Gordon's all, "What? How is
Yeah,
that
but
possible?"
He actually got himself a badge
Yeah. Badges?
by smushing a guy's head
We don't need no stinking badges.
like a grape
Yeah.
and going to the lab and
Gross.
and editing the test so that his enzyme wouldn't show up as testing positive, right? Something like that.
Then he went on Wikipedia and edited that as well.
He sure did.
I don't know.
He did. He edited the
Sometimes the riffs work, sometimes they don't.
yeah. He edited the Falcone page
Yeah, that's it.
so that his dad wasn't a mob boss anymore. He edited it
And
to
we
say-
won't mention Alberto Falcone.
so that they would
Holiday.
be plumbers, humble plumbers.
Right. My brother Luigi. Nice. Instead of a brother Alberto, my brother is a Luigi.
And they hate turtles.
Those are turtles.
And Leslie is a princess up in the tower. That's what he edited.
They're gonna rescue the princess.
That's right.
Hey
But
Luigi,
he's
let's go rescue the princess.
Why I don't ever get a turn. Sorry.
Gamer humor. Oh yeah. Sweet Christmas.
Yeah, except Mario didn't even get a turn this week.
Nope.
Okay, so he does that, and of course it makes James look like an idiot because
Which is his plan.
right.
To make him look all crazy Gordon in front of Lee.
Right. And Lee keeps saying, no, you know what? He's not infected with this blood because he keeps coming back negative for it. And she goes ahead and marries him, which
In a really
I'm
rapid ceremony.
a what?
Yeah, they skip everything. Like it's almost like that wedding in Spaceballs where it's like, do you? Yes. Do you?
You? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you do.
You do.
Yeah.
You're married. Everybody's
Right.
fine.
Right. And then they're off on the honeymoon, and James shows up at the wedding and gets thrown out, and he gets beaten down on the way out, which I
Right.
thought was classless. I mean, please, just escort him out. Come on.
Well, they're hired goons.
I know.
So it's like, hired goons? Yes, so hired goons. So they have to, like, beat the crap out of Gordon.
They have to be goony.
Well, and it was supposed to be, like, juxtapositioning Gordon getting the crap kicked out of him while
With
Lee
them
is
getting married.
marrying Mario.
Right. And I saw on some page that I was looking at earlier that someone says, no matter how many times you compare Lee with Barbara,
Yeah.
Barbara always looks better lately
Mm-hmm.
because this wedding dress was nothing to write home about.
Not really.
And Barbara always looks glamorous.
But to be fair, it's just like, okay, we're going to marry her off to some guy, and we're going to kill the guy.
Right.
So why waste the money on a really good wedding dress?
And maybe that's the point.
It's not the right time. It's not
Right.
Mario is not the one for Lee.
Right. So, of course, she's not going to have the wedding dress. Or
Exactly.
the perfect wedding or, all that stuff. So, they go off for their honeymoon. And this is when they put all the pieces together. They find out
This is after they skip out on the reception.
Right. Oh, yeah, they run.
Yeah, they're like, okay, we got to get out of here really quick.
Right. And he asks her when they get there, do you still have feelings for him? Even a little bit. And she says, well, I'll always love him a little bit.
Big mistake.
But I married you. Yeah, and he goes, she loves him. And he's coming at her with a knife. And that's after James has put all the pieces together and he shows up right then.
Right.
And sees him with the knife, shoots him. He drops the knife into the water.
So she doesn't see it.
Right.
Okay.
And he falls. And
so my question,
mm-hmm.
Why doesn't Gordon say, Mario, freeze? And
Right.
so Lee could turn and see what was going on
Right.
before blowing the guy away.
Right.
Isn't he supposed to be a trained cop? Isn't he supposed to be able to do this?
Right.
No, he has to be like, oh.
I agree.
And it gets all soap opera-y.
I agree. That is what I say as well.
It's like Wendy Miracle wrote this episode.
Well, no, it's not that bad.
Nothing's bad.
It's really not that bad.
No, but still, it was kind of...
At least you could write it off as passion and heat of the moment sort of thing.
But it just seems so convenient. I just thought it was so convenient that she doesn't see what's going on.
Right.
That's my problem with it.
I agree. But if that's the only nit with that storyline, I mean, it's not a big deal. Okay, on to Mom and Pop Caper. This is Alfred and Selena and Bruce.
Right.
And they're still meeting with the Whisper Gang. And the Whisper Gang is getting picked off still.
Yeah, because
the
Corvallis is sending the talent after him.
Right. They get picked off down to 0, but before that can happen, Bruce, Selena, and Alfred get all the information they need in order to use the key. And they get sent to this mansion where they're told where the key is. They get there and...
There's like laser beams. There's sharks with freaking laser beams all over the floor.
I have to say, this is one of my biggest pet peeves ever. You can't see laser beams like that.
What if there was smoke?
No.
And it was dyed?
No.
Like there was like an infrared light or something to make it look red.
No. You can't see them. You can't see them.
But they're laser beams. They have to look like laser beams.
No.
And I'm saying this is Dr. Evil. So.
Yeah, you can't see those. Just so you know.
But
you can't.
No.
Zip it. Right. Exactly.
Laser beams.
But anyway, it's effective. I get it. So they do this kind of Mission Impossible thing where he holds this. Yeah. He holds I guess what steel cable.
Yeah, it's basically this tightrope type cable. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Which was awesome.
But he is so scrawny. There's no way he would be able to support her weight.
Still.
Because he's tall, but he's like wimpy.
He's so cute.
He's got arms the size of like table legs.
Spaghetti.
Yeah, little like mouse cords.
Yeah, well, let's just pretend.
Yeah, so there's no way he would be able to support her weight for one. Why didn't he just tie it to something and then
they have their first kiss?
Yeah, and she walks the tightrope. She goes to the other side. She walks right over the laser beams.
Right. Which they wouldn't be able to see again.
But lasers.
But no. Yeah, and she opens up the safe with the key, and there's a crystal owl in there.
Owl sculptures.
Yeah, and she takes it out, but the Talon comes in behind Bruce, and they end up setting off the alarms.
Oh, and Selena's like, oh, is that it? That's it? Really?
Right.
An owl sculpture?
Right. Yeah, she's not happy.
That's the
about
big deal? That's the...
Right. And and this is when Alfred comes up and
Right.
they throw a smoke bomb in and they're like, run!
Smoke bomb! Psh!
Which is exactly kind of what I said
I know.
as well. Like Krieger.
Right.
Doesn't he do that? Smoke bomb!
Yes. That is totally a Krieger move. And then he stands there because the smoke bomb isn't enough to cover his escape.
Right.
It's a little bit of smoke bomb. So
But
Alfred
they really do throw a smoke bomb.
Yeah,
and
Alfred
then they get away.
Alfred stabs the Talon in the neck.
Well, they get away to the foyer area until the Talon comes up. They get in this huge whatever.
Yeah.
They get in this huge fight and they're kind of on the losing end of it until this mysterious woman shows up in a where in the world is Carmen Sandiego outfit?
Right. It's Agent Carter.
That's right.
With the hat,
And-
Peggy Carter with the hat. Yeah.
Right. And she hits him over the head with a vase, and this is when he's distracted
vase.
enough. A vase in the foyer. And
Well, think about where they are. It's a vase in the foyer.
and Alfred ends up slitting his throat, killing the Talon, which leaves the spot for 5 to move up and become the Talon, I
Right,
guess.
right.
And we get the reveal that this woman is Maria. I'm guessing her last name is Kyle. Maria Kyle.
Presumably.
And she,
Selena's like, Mom?
yeah, she is.
So we get to meet Selena Kyle's long-lost mom,
Right.
Maria.
Played by Ivana Milicevic,
Right.
who
Easy
was
for you to say.
a Bond girl in Casino Royale.
Yes,
and
she was.
was also one of the lead characters in Banshee. So
She looked really good in Casino Royale.
she did.
She was smoking.
She's super hot.
She's the blonde in Casino Royale that has her hair over one eye, like an eye patch almost.
Yeah, it's kind of sideways.
Yeah.
And it's got a bias cut.
You know,
Like all
kind of like Carl in Walking Dead right now.
kind of
Right.
in a very sleek way.
You know, basically, she's the distraction during the poker tournament.
Right.
Yeah.
And washed.
Right.
Unlike Carl right now.
Well, that goes without saying.
Yeah. Okay, so and that's what I mean by mom and pop, as in Alfred's kind of the pop and she's kind of the mom.
Right. Got it. Very clever.
Thank you. And then friend zone, of course, would be
Penguin Enigma.
that's right.
Yeah. So this is a big deal. Enigma, after being tipped off by Stabby Babs,
Mm-hmm.
is very
Where
suspicious.
I love how she does it too. Well,
Right. Exactly.
and he says, "Did you just cough?"
Well, she
Oswald?"
said penguin. She was
Oh,
penguin. Penguin. Yeah.
Did you just cough penguin me?
Yes.
Which I thought was hilarious because I do that all the time.
Exactly.
And
Well, we just did it with Cisco being hypocrite. So
we did.
yeah.
We did.
Hypocrite. Yeah.
I love that she did it, and
It's yeah. So anyway, so the Riddler's tipped
she's
off
so
about
funny.
the Riddler's tipped off about this. So so he tries to shrug it off. He's like, no, can't be,
That can't be.
no,
And
no.
she says, "Come on, think about it."
Think about
and
it. Really?
He finally realizes, you know what? He's vulnerable. He latches onto people. I get it.
Well, he tests Penguin first, and like he says, well,
I quit.
I quit. Yeah, like I have to leave because I'm so upset over Isabella, and Penguin's all clingy, like super clingy. He's like, no, you can't go.
Right.
I need you.
Mm-hmm.
And the Riddler's
And he
like,
goes, oh no.
oh crap,
Right.
awkward.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, and then he kind of pieces it together, like, well, I guess Oswald's responsible for killing Isabella.
Right.
So Arg.
Yeah.
And he has this little fantasy about killing Oswald during this press conference.
I
But
loved that, by
which
the way.
which you're supposed to think, oh, he did it, and then, oh, guess what? He didn't do it. He was just imagining it.
I didn't think he did it, though.
I didn't think he did
Do you
it
think?
either.
Yeah,
But some people might have fallen for it.
I guess.
But younger viewers might have fallen for it.
Right.
Really younger viewers.
Really young.
Really younger viewers. So anyway, Nigma later goes to Sirens and says, hey, everybody, let's have a supervillain team up
Mm-hmm.
because I want to destroy Oswald.
Right. And Babs says something to the point of, your brain's in my me.
Hotness.
Right.
Sweet
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah, she's so cute
Yeah.
when she does that. And she has a point that,
I am so glad they figured out her character.
yeah, me too, that Oswald is kind of in a weird place.
Well, he basically has, without even intentionally doing this, he's created all these enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Because he kind of disowned Butch,
Mm-hmm.
and he chopped off Butch's hand for one,
Right.
which is kind of a hard thing to get over.
It is.
And Tabitha never liked him,
No.
and Stabby Babs sees him as competition for her would-be criminal empire.
Right. And now he's killed
And now he's pissed off the Riddler's girlfriend.
his girlfriend. Yeah, he's killed his girlfriend.
So, really not making friends, Oswald.
No. No.
No.
Not at all.
So
And,
basically his past sins are coming back to haunt him.
He does one of these.
The shakes fist.
We'll get him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he does friend zone him big time.
Yeah.
Where he says he's going to resign, and he says, no, don't resign. Oh, okay, you're my best friend.
Right.
He does that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So anything else about this episode?
no, not really. It was a good setup for some other stuff happening. I want to find out what happens with the owl,
Right.
whatever the deal is with that.
Oh, the sculpture? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to be continued
Dun, dun, dun.
done in January.
Right.
So that's it
And
for
I
the
can't
year.
wait to see. I was not expecting Maria Kyle to show up.
I was
at
because
all.
if you read Damn Good Coffee and Hot,
Well, I do, but
but I posted about it.
did you
I
really
did.
that it was her mother?
Really.
Oh, okay. I
Really,
didn't
really.
read that one then.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I posted about it.
All right.
So,
Did you post it in the headline that it was her mother?
I didn't post in the well, I might have. I posted the actress's name. I said Gotham cast so and so, and I
Okay.
think it was as Selena's mom. I think
Okay.
was the headline.
Interesting. That one must have got by.
So
me.
yeah, if you go to Damn Good Coffee and you do click on the little, I've got a list of subjects on the right side. You could search for subjects
Gotham.
quicker. Go search for Gotham, and you should be able to
Okay.
find it.
I'll look it up.
So, all
It
right,
must have snuck by me.
it slipped past you
It did. It's not very often. I was just over there, like, going through all the tags on the right-hand side, looking up stuff.
like a ninja in the night.
I was.
Yep.
I was trying to find something, and I was looking. I got sucked down into a rabbit hole on your site.
My blog is kind of a rabbit hole because once you start talking, because I've got all these subjects, and then like you start clicking on stuff, and you're like, oh, okay,
Oh, like,
I
to
click
something
on
else.
this, yes.
And there's links inside each post too that you can click to, and I'm
Mhm.
like, oh,
Yep.
I want to click to that now.
Yep, I'm gonna
And
check
then
them.
I saw-
And there's
then the-
videos and all kinds of stuff to, yeah, because I'm evil.
Okay, so I give it 8 freaking laser beams, even though it's
Yeah.
a pet peeve.
I wish I would have
It
thought
was
of that.
still- I love freaking.
Yours is much better than mine.
Yours is still good.
Yeah,
like
I give it 8 stolen owl sculptures.
Yeah.
So
It's
we're kind
very
of
intriguing.
we're in sync on this one as well.
Yep, 8.
Actually, we're kind of in
Good
sync on the
episode.
next two as well.
Yep,
by the looks of it.
exactly the
So
same.
we're like simpatico here.
We are.
All right. So let's move on to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That's right. This was a pretty cool episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Pretty cool episode.
Right.
Written and directed by?
Deals with Our Devils, written by DJ Doyle, directed by Jesse Bochco,
Hey,
presumably related to Stephen Bochco.
really?
I'm guessing.
Okay.
Can't
Well-
be that many Bochcos
I got to give him kudos.
in the industry.
both of them because the writing and the directing had something to do with why I like this episode.
Yeah.
So
This is a Big
Uh,
Mac episode. Get it?
it was a Big Mac
Big
episode.
Mac. Big Mac.
Big Mac.
It's a Big Mac attack.
At least I'm not hungry because I just had all those donut holes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've looked at life from both sides now. I've looked at life from both sides now.
Yeah. Very nice.
Thank you. Verde didn't write that libretto. Do you know what
You're going to have to tip me off on that one.
he wrote?
I know Verdi.
He wrote Aida,
Oh, okay.
and
See,
he
I'm
wrote a book.
See, I'm more of a Puccini
Right.
guy, but that's
I
me.
see.
I'm
You are not.
Giacomo Puccini. I am. I swear to God.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Madame Butterfly.
Okay,
I've
good.
actually seen Madame Butterfly. Thank you very
Okay.
much, because I'm a Puccini guy.
Good.
And
I'm glad
also
you're working sarcastic.
Turandot.
Oh, Turandot. Yeah.
So there.
Okay. Good.
Which
Well,
Turandot
Verdi-
was featured in Mission Impossible,
Verde-
Rogue Nation. Yeah.
Verde wrote Aida, A-I-D-A, right?
Yep. Ada.
And a libretto is a book. So Verde didn't
Very
write that
nice.
libretto.
Okay. Well played.
And by the way, Aida is a very good opera. If you ever decide to.
Okay, because I actually like opera.
Yeah,
But
My sister is an opera singer, and before we were on the outs, I used to go see the opera. all the
But
time.
again, Puccini's my favorite. So,
Very cool.
didn't expect that to be discussed here on the Phantom Zone podcast,
Yeah.
did you?
My sister is a Wagnerian soprano.
Very nice.
So yeah.
Kill the wabbit, kill the
Yes.
wabbit, kill the... Oh, that's a Bugs Bunny.
Yes,
Yeah.
she is.
What's Opera Doc? Still one of the best.
Wagnerian
Still one of the
soprano.
best Bugs Bunny cartoons ever made. Chuck Jones.
The Ride of the Valkyrie.
Yeah. Die Ringen, die Nibelungen, or whatever it is.
Correct.
Something like that.
The Ring of the Nibelung.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Sea Story is Hatchling, because I couldn't think of anything else. to say there. And that's just Simmons.
Yeah. Okay.
With
So
the-
I've looked at life from both sides now.
This was the coolest part of the episode. Okay.
Go
we
for
get
it.
this. Everyone's walking through this facility looking for the missing people in the facility. And
Looking for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love.
I was so unsuspecting when I first started watching that. I was like, okay, this is really depressing that they can't find all these people. And
Well, and you've got poor Coulson and Fitz.
right,
They've been shunted to this parallel dimension.
right, but there's no sign of them yet.
Right. This
It's
dark
just
hole,
Mac and
dimension or whatever.
Mac and May are looking in one place, and
Yep.
okay, but so we get these scenes with just the people still on our plane
Hmm.
looking,
Right.
right? And then after we see that, we see the same scene again,
But
but with Coulson
from their
and
perspective.
Fitz on their plane fitting in.
And everybody
So-
else is kind of dark in the background.
Right.
Because, and apparently, according to Fitz, we find out that they're kind of being pulled into the darkness.
Right. And so Mac and May can't see them, can't interact with them, can't do anything. But they're talking. I mean, it begins with Coulson and Fitz talking back to Mac and May.
That's
until
gonna
they
make going
realize-
to the bathroom really awkward.
I know, right?
Right.
Until they realize that they can't hear them. I mean, they're almost having a conversation.
Yeah.
With them, and then they're like, they're not answering us. They're talking to each other.
I think Fitz figures it out first. He's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
damn it, we're in a parallel dimension."
Right. Because Mac is saying something, Coulson answers him, and it's like
Yeah.
Mac is kind of responding to him, but he's not. He's responding to May.
Well, yeah, because you kind of figure out that Coulson, you see Coulson talking, but and this is kind of how I figured out the Sixth Sense, is that the characters do not directly
looking
talk to one another.
Right.
Like you have one character talking, the other character's talking, but they're not talking to each other
Right.
and responding to the other one.
Right. And it was great how they did it because they laid out that scene ahead of time with just Mac and May talking to each other. So we got that conversation without Coulson and Fitz. And then we insert Fitz and Coulson talking in that silence.
I see S.H.I.E.L.D. people.
And I loved it. I loved how they did it. And then we see down the hallway where they run into Robbie.
Right.
And Robbie and Eli, they see Eli going out with the carbon wall and he's killing people. That carbon wall was an awesome effect, by the way.
It
I thought
was.
Very cool.
And Robbie, because he's tied in with the supernatural because of being possessed by Zarathos, the Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm. The spirit of vengeance.
Spirit of vengeance. Yes, thank you.
That's right.
He can actually see Fitz and Coulson.
Right. So the three of them can see each other. No one else can see them.
Right.
And they can't. They're starting slowly to not be able to see anyone else because, as Fitz puts it, they're on a raft with a hole in the middle and they're being pulled down through the middle of the raft. And I'm thinking, okay, that is not a good analogy, but whatever, I guess.
And to make things even more awkward, Zarathos, the spirit of vengeance, is not down with being sucked into the Darkhold dimension.
No, he wants another host.
He's like, screw you guys, I'm going home.
Right.
And he's like, I'm going to get me a new host.
Yeah. He decides to find Mac, which is awesome.
It is awesome because Mac all of a sudden gets all badass, gets everybody's favorite weapon, the shotgun axe,
Right.
hops on a motorcycle,
and takes off.
And takes off as the Zephyr is taking off.
Right.
He lowers the landing bay or whatever, jumps the bike over the edge to land on to get out.
Right. It was amazing.
And he goes all Terminator, like Terminator 2 Arnie.
Right.
Judgment Day Arnie.
On Eli and
so he's riding the bike, and he's got the shotgun axe, and he's looking all cool. And,
right. It was really awesome.
It was good. So this is the Big Mac attack. That should have been what your topic was.
Big Mac attack.
Big Mac attack.
Well, they didn't put anything there because it wasn't the biggest part of the story.
No, but it was the awesomest part.
It was awesome. You're right.
It deserves note.
Okay, Hatchling / Big Mac attack.
Okay, there you go.
We'll put it there. So he's on the hunt because again, spirit of vengeance, and the vengeance wants vengeance against Eli at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Eli needs to get reaped.
Right.
And it is not going to rest until that's done. So at this moment, Fitz and Coulson, and to a lesser degree, Robbie, are trying to find a way out. Robbie's just kind of along for the ride at this point. He's not a scientist or anything.
Yeah.
So Fitz and Coulson are theorizing how they can get back. And they're following everyone around and they're trying to kind of talk to them, waving their arms, talking to them. It's not doing anything, but they are trying. And the thing that kind of works is when
Ada.
What's his name? Radcliffe?
Oh, yeah, Radcliffe, yeah.
Radcliffe decides that Ada can read the book because she's not a human.
Right.
So
she can't be corrupted by the book.
Right. They put the book in front of her, and she reads binary or something in it. And when Fitz talks to her, he thinks that she can hear him, or at least gets a little bit of communication.
Yeah.
And she does kind of do what he's saying. So there's some sort of communication happening. And she does this weirdness in the air.
She constructs a portal.
Right. We can see stuff happening, but I don't think they can, right?
Yeah. So is it like she conjures it, basically?
Yeah.
Using the text from the Darkhold?
Right. And she conjures a portal, and Coulson's like, no, I don't want to go in there. And they finally end up, come on, let's go through. And they go through, and they're back.
Yeah.
And after all this stuff with Mac happening, he goes, take it back, and he gives the spirit back to Robbie, and Robbie's
Well, right now, Robbie, though, he has to promise to serve Zarathos even after they get Eli,
Right.
as long as it leaves Max. So basically, he bargains
Right.
for Max's freedom from Zarathos.
Right. And I think that's what's going to endear him to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
is that he has proved himself to be part of the
He
team.
sacrificed for the team to save
Right.
Mac.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
They had to do something
Right.
because they didn't trust him yet. So we're all back together. And at the end of the episode, and this is just that part
Yeah.
of the episode, but at the end of the episode, Aida is doing this thing with a brain.
Yeah.
And she's like
She's
pulling-
creating an artificial brain.
Right. So she's going all Westworld.
Pretty much. So, yeah, I think she's...
Hello, Ultron.
yeah.
Why do you create AIs all the time, Marvel? Why?
Jocasta, just saying. If you know Jocasta, it's a... Hank Pym creates Ultron. Ultron creates Jocasta and the Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Vision's cool, though.
Vision's cool. Not Tony Stark, by the way. Tony Stark did not create the Vision.
No, he didn't.
Because screw the movies. It was Ultron.
No, but that was an awesome thing.
It was.
The
Yeah.
movie was cool.
I know, but just saying.
My comic book's cooler than.
Yes, comic book is always cooler.
Oh, the Vision.
Yeah, you can't top that John Buscema artwork. That cover.
I am so.
Avengers number 57, Volume 1.
I want to have babies with that cover.
Alrighty then.
You know what I mean? It's awesome looking. Okay.
I think that deserves the porn music.
So hatchling, and the side story is that Fitz gets taken away by, what's his name? Jeffrey.
Oh, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Mace.
Jeffrey.
With a hood over her head, and it's this bargain that he's made with the senator, and she's looking at the senator's brother, who is still in the cocoon, and she's diagnosing him.
You mean Simmons, not Fitz. You said Fitz.
Oh, I'm sorry, Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
That's what confused me. I was just like, wait, what? When did Fitz get taken?
Sorry about that.
Simmons got taken.
Simmons got taken by Mace.
Yep, the Patriot.
With a hood over her head. And
She got black bagged.
That's right. To where the senator's brother was being held, and ended up helping to break him out of the cocoon. And before she could see what happened, she was black bagged again and escorted out of the room. And we don't really get to see anything.
No, but because you saw like his eye, and he kind of talked to her, whispered to her, says thank you or something.
Right. That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
She's like, I'll be here for you, and then no, I actually won't.
So he'll be like come out really looking really hot, and she'll fall for him, and then we're back to like the Fitz love triangle again.
Nope.
I'm worried we will.
It will always be Fitzsimmons.
I don't know.
Forever.
They can't keep those two together for a season.
Forever.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying.
All right.
Okay, so what did you give it?
I gave it 8 fiery shotgun axes in the shotgun X, possessed by the spirit of Zarathos, so it's all flamey.
Yeah, awesome.
What was your rating?
One of my characters in WoW is a shaman. And shaman. No, shaman. And
don't squeeze the shaman.
She uses lava, fire, as one of her things. So I have her whole outfit is like, it has fire on her shoulder pads and everything.
Ooh.
And a fire shield.
Very 80s.
That goes around. Oh no, it's awesome looking.
Okay.
And she has a fist weapon that's got like fingers that go like this, and they're flames. That,
cool. So they're fiery fingertips.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Very cool.
That is cool.
Reminded me of the stuff. But she has axes that look like that. Anyway.
It's got to make manicure is really hard.
What is this bizarre segue that's happening?
Shut up, you.
She's a troll. There's no fingernails.
Okay.
So I give it 8 new hosts.
All right.
For Mac.
Okay, so moving on to
8 Big Mac attacks.
Big Mac attacks. So our last show now, Luke Cage, DWYCK.
Season 1, Episode 9, DWYCK, DWYCK.
Yep, do what you can, kid. Written by Christian Taylor, one of the producers on the show, and directed by Tom Shankland.
Alrighty.
What's her A, B, and
And
C?
I
Karen?
have A story, no I in team.
Nope.
Team.
Team.
And if you know, I think it's Goodfellas where he goes around the table. Is it Goodfellas? Where he says, part of a team. And they all go, team. Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's what I'm referring to.
Okay,
The B story is, what's up, Doc?
right,
And the C story is, play Misty for me.
right. Because we couldn't come up with anything better for Misty.
But still, that's a creepy movie.
Yeah.
If you're a radio DJ.
I've never actually seen that movie.
You haven't?
I have not.
Oh, I don't like Clint Eastwood, but I've seen that movie.
Yeah. All right, so no I in team, which I'm guessing is Diamondback,
It is.
because Diamondback,
Now, what did I say last week? Because I hadn't seen that episode yet,
yeah,
but Shades took it upon himself that he was going to run a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, Diamondback didn't like that so much.
no, because Shades has got his feet up on that really nice desk that
So you like
Cottonmouth
that
had.
painting of Binky Smalls, do you?
Yeah.
I'll
So
put that painting up there.
so he's trying to call the shots, be like the big cheese, and Diamondback comes in and says, "Nope, you're still working for me, princess."
Right. And also, to be fair, Mariah has said I'm out
Right.
as well. So
Yeah,
There's
Mariah.
that.
Yeah, she tries to meet with the Spanish gang crime lord,
mhm.
and she tries to get him to arrange this meeting of the local crime bosses so that she can go, "I'm out."
Right.
Now,
You guys split everything up.
right. So they have the meeting, but guess who interrupts the meeting?
Diamondback, who doesn't
Diamondback.
want to be out.
Nope. Says you're not out until I say you're out.
I keep getting out, and they keep pulling me back in.
Yeah. Gets all Godfather 3.
That's right. Except they're not pulling him back in. He is just in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that meeting was interesting.
It was. And so basically, Diamondback kills everybody in the room except for Mariah and the Spanish crime lord,
Right.
because he's like, well, I don't really have a beef with you.
Right. Plus, I need someone alive to go back and tell people what I did.
Right.
Isn't that kind of,
Kind of.
I want you to go out and tell people that I'm here to stay.
Right.
And does he kill Shades?
No, he doesn't kill Shades.
Yeah.
Because he's going to use Shades. But
Yeah. But man, he gives him a talking to.
Pretty much. He's like, you getting
You
a little
are-
full of yourself there, pally
You
boy.
are not in charge, young man.
Yep. I'm Negan, you're Deputy Negan.
Meet Lucille.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he was not happy with Shades
No.
at all. And I hadn't seen it yet, but I just had that feeling that Shades was getting a little too big in his britches.
Pretty much. Now, Mariah kind of comes into accepting a little bit of her new criminal overlord status.
She doesn't have a lot of choice, though. After
No, she
seeing
doesn't,
that.
but, she kind of has a natural fit or talent for it.
Mm-hmm.
So she tells Diamondback that the video of Luke Cage attacking this policeman as he was trying to escape from getting hauled into custody.
Right. Hey, let's make this public.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, why don't we turn the city against him?
Right. Right. And
So-
Diamondback's all in for that.
Yep. That
because-
sounds good. That's good. I like that plan. I'm excited by it. And now you can sell the Judas bullets to the NYPD and make a killing.
Right.
Literally.
Mm-hmm. Because the Judas bullets will take him out.
Right. So we can do it legitimately.
Hmm.
So which is all Mariah's about.
That's right. She does not want Luke out there.
And Diamondback actually likes this idea. So
Of course he does,
Yep.
because he apparently does not like Luke very much, even though they're brothers.
right.
Does that mean he would that he
or
was
at
that
least
half brother.
half brothers.
Right. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So Luke was the good brother and he was the bad brother. Is that the deal?
I think I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Daddy loved him better.
I guess, or Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Wherever he laid his
hat
hat
was
was
his home.
home.
And
That was the
when
last.
he died,
Oh, he left me was alone. I changed keys there. Sorry,
that's okay. Yours is much better than mine.
I couldn't sing that high.
That's all right. Well, I had to do that high part because there's a really like falsetto part in that song. Because when he died,
Oh, he left me was alone.
because that's four. It's the Temptations, so there's like four singers,
know.
and one of them's a like soprano.
I know, and I'm
So-
not.
Yeah,
I'm an alto/tenor.
you're awesome. I just suck. So
No.
I am the suck.
You don't.
All right. So B story. What's up, Doc?
What's up, Doc? They're taking him to the original doctor who made Luke Cage into who he was.
Dr. Burstein.
Right.
Yeah,
Who
they
is
tr-
alive?
They track him down in Georgia.
I thought he was dead.
The devil went down. I thought he was killed in the explosion too,
Yeah,
but
I
apparently
really
not.
did.
Apparently
I thought he was
not.
dead.
Maybe he must have snuck out before the explosion
Yeah.
went off.
How did they know he was alive, though, is my question.
That's a good question.
So they did apparently know he was
They tracked him
alive.
down in
The
Georgia.
one person that could help him.
Right.
So they decide to go and see him, and
They're we got like bullets in my invulnerable body. Can you get them out, please?
right. And he's like, hell if I know.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
have no idea even what I
uh,
did.
I know. We'll just dunk them in acid. See if that works. Soften
Right.
them up a little bit. You know, like
Right.
kind of like when you put like a biscuit that's kind of stale, and you put it in the microwave, and you put like something over it to kind of hydrate it a little bit, and make it a little softer.
Yeah, well, and along with Claire, who apparently has a lot of faith in Luke that he can heal,
Yeah.
who decides to turn it up to 11.
Turned up real good.
That is right.
Turned up. Turned
Yeah,
up.
they definitely turned him. They go to extremes, and I guess it's a lucky thing they do because that's what ends up making him
Yep.
pliable enough
to get the shrapnel out. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But man,
But the downside, of course, is that it gives Luke cardiac arrest.
right.
Beep.
That's what the machine sounds like.
Pretty much. So our hero spends most of the episode like going, I'm in pain, and then gets dunked in acid, and then
nothing.
cardiac arrest.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
That's
He sounds like Thea for most of the episode. And
pretty much. All right.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Misty is
and
still
Claire is like, don't be such a baby, you
right.
wussy.
Right. Although, to be fair,
I know.
He doesn't do that much.
Yeah, exactly. So,
When he does, it's going to hurt a lot.
all right, C story.
Play Misty for me. She's still being questioned, even more so now that she's attacked Claire.
Yeah, understandably.
Right.
They
so
call in a police psychologist.
right. So she has a partner who is a bad cop.
Right.
She attacked a witness. She slept with Luke Cage, or
But she
had a
hasn't
relationship with-
copped to that yet.
Doesn't cop to it, but she has a relationship with him.
I
They
think
know
I think the inspector figured it out.
yeah, but they know she at least has some kind of a relationship with him
Right.
because there's that. They ask her about relationships, and they're iffy at best.
Mhm.
So there's lots of really weird things in her life, and they're questioning everything. She feels really under a microscope about everything, and she's very close to her breaking point in this episode, and I felt really awful for her.
Now I think, but she does over the course. Now the psychologist, she's all resistant to the idea of being, analyzed.
Right. Well, she doesn't feel like she needs it. Which,
Right.
honestly, I don't think she does either.
Well, here's
But-
her whole thing. okay, she's all about control, as we find out in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And the psychologist basically wears her down and gets her to realize that, and this is her big breakthrough here, is that she lost control to Diamondback when he took her weapon and used it against her.
Right.
And the whole business with Luke and
Scarf.
Scarf. So
Right.
so it's that she's so desperate to regain control, which is why she went after Claire.
Right. Right. So
And
she's lashing out.
and she has this breakthrough. She's like, oh crap.
Right.
And that is what gets the inspector to go like, okay, now that you've had this breakthrough, here's your badge and gun back.
Right.
Bring me Luke Cage.
Yeah. And she sets her back out loose.
Yeah.
Which might
Seemed
not be
like
the best.
rather quickly, don't you think?
Yeah.
One breakthrough is that's all it took to get her back on. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me think that maybe she didn't figure out that it was Luke Cage that she slept with.
I don't know.
But who knows?
Or maybe she was just like really desperate to get her back out on the street.
Yeah. Well, she's a good cop,
she's already down a detective because Scarf's dead.
right?
So
Exactly.
she couldn't be down two detectives
Yeah.
by
And
putting her on the DL, the disabled
And
list.
we are clued into the fact that she has to be in control when she's talking in the beginning of the episode to the counselor, and she is like yelling off to the side.
Yeah.
And the counselor says, "We're not recording this," and she's like, "Oh yes, you are. I know you are."
And we find out, yes, surprise,
Yes,
the
they are.
inspectors are back there recording.
Right.
Yeah. Because Misty's not, she's smart. She knows what's
Not
going
an
on.
idiot.
No, she's not an idiot. So,
But again, it's her taking control of the situation.
yep.
Which
And she's
I
all
would
about
be-
control. And she's a control freak, which
Right.
we find out.
But a detective would kind of have to be, right?
Kind of, you would think. Especially a cop,
In order to keep your finger on every moving part of a puzzle like
Well,
that.
especially if she's like such an analytical cop.
Right. So I think that would be a good thing, a
Yeah.
good quality
Yeah.
to have.
And besides, we only got 4 episodes left. We got to get her back out on the street.
Right.
Just saying.
Please,
Yeah.
let's do.
Let's just talk about the reality of the situation here.
Right. Right.
Okay, so what's
That
your rating for this one?
I give it 8 rubber aprons
Rubber
because
apron.
the doc was wearing rubber.
Right. They had the gloves on.
like green rubber.
They kept
aprons.
spilling acid. They were pretty careless with that acid.
They were actually, yes.
I was just like, and what about the fumes in that place?
Yeah, I would wear a mask.
You would think there would be a mask or something like.
Yeah. It was boiling.
Wouldn't that
so
be
it had to
like?
be in the
Wouldn't that be
air.
scarring your lungs from all
You would
that
think.
fumes?
You would have to be aspirating it, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
But they wouldn't want them to wear masks because then we wouldn't be able to see their faces on the screen.
Or yeah, they're pretty faces.
Right.
Yeah.
The doctor, not so much. But
No,
Claire, yeah.
But Claire, yeah. So, all right. So
What did you give it?
I was also in sync with you on this one. I gave it 8 acid bathtubs.
You were also in the bathtub with me, not the sink.
Hey now. Sweet Christmas.
Oh.
It's Luke Cage. That deserves a sweet Christmas.
There you go. I give you.
Pump him up a little bit.
Sweet Christmas.
That's as far as I can go.
That's good. That's good. That was good.
You were talking.
I was talking.
Okay. And we have feedback in this
Yay.
half of the episode. It's Justina's. And remind me, because I have her modifier at the end, which she forgot to give in the feedback.
Okay.
Forgot to give in the feedback. So. And I'm not going to play Thea's Wine, even though it's right next to it, on my soundboard.
Tempting though it is.
It is, isn't it? I don't want to go home. Here's Justina, though.
All right.
She's much better.
Wow, that was one fantastic superhero team up. And I experience a superhero team up every week here on the Fandom Zone. You, Karen and Charles, go above and beyond,
Oh,
analyzing
Karen
all
mostly.
the great shows, bringing in the
No.
comic book tie-ins and comics news. Thank you so much for being our superheroes. We started the week with a fantastic episode of Supergirl. An alien virus is threatening the entire alien population. Lena Luthor outsmarts her mother and Cadmus by switching the isotopes and neutralizing the problem, allowing the aliens to live another day. Eliza was able to reverse engineer a cure for our poor Dexamite Monel, who was taken down by the virus, who, by the way, in his weakened, infirm state, kissed Kara and claims to have no memory of it.
Hey now.
But I don't believe him. Maggie had a near-death experience, which caused her to have a change of heart, so it looks like Alex might get the girl after all. Very excited to see how this turns out. Sean John is looking a little green, which for him is good because he's a green Martian. Eliza was able to get a cure for him too, neutralizing the white Martian blood cells in his system. Kara was disappointed in her birth parent, her father in particular, for developing Medusa, but since it doesn't affect humans or Kryptonians, I thought maybe they were introducing it to us at this moment because Kara would take this knowledge with her to Barry Allen's Earth, and we would use Medusa to help defeat the Dominators. I know this isn't how it turned out, but this was my theory on night 1. Supergirl gets 9 out of 10. There's more than one meaning to the word stuffing. Now on to Flash. I think it's very appropriate, since many people are mad at Barry due to Flashpoint, that they pulled that aspect out in this section of the story, and the Dominators possessed some of our all-star team, causing them to attack Barry and Oliver. It was like a physical manifestation of all the anger that the team has about Flashpoint, because in this episode, it was revealed to everyone present that changes have been made, and it's Barry's fault. Flash gets 10 out of 10. Do not tick off a girl with heat vision. Oliver is very haunted by his past, so I think it's interesting that they chose a dreamscape scenario for this section of the episode, because Oliver is very driven by what happened in his past. And it was the 100th episode of Arrow, and this was a great way to bring back lots of familiar faces. Plus, I learned from you guys that Oliver and Laurel are married in some of the comic book stories. So I think this was a really nice storyline for any of the fans that are particularly attached to this storyline to be able to see it come alive on their television. It was absolutely beautiful. It took a lot of strength of will for our heroes to break free from that near perfection, to return to reality, to save their friends, to save their city, and to save the world. It was hard to watch Oliver say goodbye to Laurel, but it was even harder to watch Sarah let go of her sister again. Mad Dog really hates metas. I wonder what that's all about. Arrow gets 10 out of 10 canary necklaces and legends. Amaya continues to help Mick keep his animal reined in so he doesn't just kill people and is able to better help. Felicity and Cisco get to go on a fabulous adventure. I wish they had been able to bring Curtis along. They really showed that they were more than tech support. I love how this crossover is showcasing each character and their strengths and what they bring to the team. I felt it was all very equal. Cisco learned in this episode how easy it is to cause a time aberration. Maybe that was the only way he was ever going to learn that what Barry did was a bad decision, but by walking in Barry's shoes, Cisco has a much better understanding how these sort of things might happen. I'm glad that it looks like this friendship is on its way to repair. We saw a new animal with Amaya. She turned into an elephant, which was really cool. Supergirl saved Oliver, even though he was being mean to her at the beginning of the episode. And I was glad to see they came to an understanding by the end. And I'm super glad they gave her a trans-dimensional apparatus so that she may be able to join into the story more often. I'm really wondering what Martin will do now that he's created an aberration that he doesn't want to change. And I'm glad that they didn't use the Medusa virus in the end, because this way we didn't kill the Dominators, we just caused them to retreat. And that is more humane. I can't wait for this team to team up again. Overall, this crossover gets a 10 from me. Have a super week.
And her modifier is 10. You can't dominate my heroes! That's her modifier.
Very nice.
Which I love.
Now, Justine, I do want to point out that Vixen does not turn into an animal.
No, but she has elephant power.
Yeah, she basically channels the spirit of the animal through the Tantu through the Tantu totem she wears on her neck. Yeah.
She went.
She's basically has the power of the pachyderm.
Right.
See what I did there? The little
Texture.
alliteration there.
Mhm.
All right.
So the power of the puma, the power of the pachyderm, the power of the
Penguin.
penguin. Ooh. So she can slip around on the ice, is that? Or she can wear a tuxedo.
She can
Which
waddle really easily.
one? Okay. She can get dressed up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's
But
fantastic.
she can swim really good. How's that?
Oh, okay. Hey, that works.
You're welcome.
Very nice.
Power of the porpoise.
Nice.
Thank you.
I like that.
Power of the panther.
Well, I said puma.
That's true.
panther,
That's
yeah.
true. Same thing.
Very close.
Power of the porcupine. That's a
Yeah.
cougar.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
It's actually a jaguar.
well, it's actually a jaguar.
Again.
Yeah, we've talked about this. That
Yeah.
it sounds better on the audio.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So I guess that about does it. But why don't you tell us where people can find you?
That's right. If you want to send us feedback like Justina,
Mhm.
you can email us at fandomzonecast@gmail.com. Or you can find us on our Facebook page. You can just search for Fandom Zone Podcast, or you can go to facebook.com/Fandom Zone Podcast. And we are on Twitter at Fandom Zone Cast. I am on Twitter at Aleveria, ALEVERIA. And there's a link in my bio to all my other links.
Very nice.
Mhm.
Okay.
Where can they find you?
Well, as always, you can find me at Charles Skaggs on Twitter machine,
Yes.
or at Charles Skaggs on the Instagrams.
Yes.
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 Or Google Plus for all you crazy kids on the
Get
Google
on the
Plus.
Google Plus.
And Facebook, of course.
Of course.
And my blog geeky things. Damn good coffee and hot.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
Where I
What
talk
good
about.
timing is that?
Thank you. Very nice. Well done. You're getting better at that.
Thank you.
Is where I talk about all of these comic book shows, and Lord knows there are aplenty.
Yes. And more.
And more coming, because as I was talking about, or posted on our Facebook page today, we've got a new trailer for Legion on FX,
Legion.
which
saw that.
I'm geeking about because, like, it's done by the guy, the showrunner of Fargo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Noah
That's good.
Hawley.
Oh, Howley.
Hawley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
HAWLEY.
You're right. Exactly.
Very nice.
Correctamundo. And so, and
That should be good,
it's got Dan Stevens from Downton Abbey, and so Gene Smart and Aubrey Plaza, and so
Really? April?
really.
Very cool.
So yeah,
Cool.
gonna
That's
check
cool.
that out. That comes out in February. So
Very nice. So
Yeah.
that will be here on the Fandom Zone
Here.
as well.
yeah, because we need more shows. We don't have enough. We're only at 2-part episodes now because we don't have enough shows.
I know.
Maybe some others would be on it. It's only 8-episode season.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
So it's
all right.
it's not that involved. But I want to give everybody some thanks because we got our downloads report for November, and we almost doubled our downloads from last month.
Really?
Really.
Nice. Thanks,
So
guys.
yeah, we were like over 700 downloads.
Very nice.
So I want to say thank you to everybody for downloading the Fandom Zone podcast. I know these 2-parters may take a lot to get through, but we really do appreciate it, and thanks for helping us out with that. So your efforts have not gone unnoticed.
Yeah, and we like talking, which
Yep.
is great. But
And everybody, we're up to 112 likes on Facebook.
I know.
So
Yep.
we're 4 away from tying Dangerous Habits, the Constantine podcast. It's my goal
That is the weirdest thing ever. What did we do that for a year? We've been doing this for, what, 3 years now?
Well, it's getting on that.
So,
Yeah, so apparently everybody really liked Dangerous
well, we
Habits.
keep getting likes for
Yeah.
Dangerous Habits.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but we have gotten
Every so often we get a new like.
right.
Which is okay because that means somebody got into Constantine and they got looking for the podcast. So,
Right.
which is why we still keep it up. But
I think it's weird. I still get likes
but
on
but we
some of
would
it.
really like Fandom Zone to beat that.
Right. It would be nice.
So if you got some friends of yours, some enemies that haven't already liked us on Facebook, please get them to do so because we'd like to top that record.
Right.
of
We're
100.
nerds,
We'd like to beat 116.
and we
Yep.
need validation because nerds always do
Kind
that.
of, yeah. And we'd like the active show to be doing better than the dead show. So, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
We're weird that way.
I just want to say, if you have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy's 2 trailer,
Mm-hmm.
go watch it right now because
You can check it out on Damn Good Coffee and Hot.
that's where I saw it, by the way.
Yep.
It is the cutest thing
Baby Groot.
ever.
Baby Groot.
I am Groot.
I am Groot. No.
No.
No. And Mantis. How great was Mantis?
Oh,
Palm Clementif as Mantis.
so good.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see it.
You have sexual love for her. And then Drax
No, I don't.
Drax just bursts out laughing and goes,
Paul.
ah ha 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 ha. You were she completely outed you and embarrassed you and
I
ha
know.
ha ha. That was great.
I probably watched it 5 times.
Who
now.
knew that Dave Bautista had great comedic timing like this?
I know, right? So this is what you get when you listen to our podcast. Is just us talking about comic books and all things comic books.
So yeah, if you want to check out the trailer, go to Damn Good Coffee and Hot, and you can view it right there. I even have a breakdown of the trailer, so that if you're not sure of some of the lines and you want to quote them, they're already there.
I am Groot.
I am Groot.
I am Groot.
Yeah, for all the people who can't figure out I am Groot, but you know,
I am Groot.
Groot.
He's so
He's gonna totally steal that movie.
I want him so much. I want there to be a plush doll
Oh, there will be.
and a Funko.
You know there will be a Funko.
Yes.
Guarantee
I
there will
want
be a
there to
Funko.
be a plush doll that I can
Because this is like, we
and
saw him as a
pet.
plant.
call him George.
Yeah, we saw him as the potted plant baby Groot at
Right.
the end of the first movie.
Yeah,
But now he's more like a toddler.
he is.
Toddler Groot.
Cute. So cute.
Yeah.
But he's got the mind of the big Groot, right? Because
Yes.
he is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
big-
Apparently, he has the adult mind, but he just looks really cute and
Oh, he's adorable.
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So that's it for us. I have put actually the meanwhile picture at the end
Meanwhile,
of our podcast page if you're looking at it.
so next week we only have 6 shows, I believe.
Right.
So we're starting to kind of taper off for the holidays.
Yay.
But please keep
I'm
listening.
sorry, I mean what?
Yeah.
No,
we do kind of need a break, especially Karen needs a break.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't get much of one, but
And yours truly is trying to start up a 3rd podcast
yeah, I know.
on top of like 50 other thousand things I'm doing right now this month. Yeah.
And he doesn't drink coffee, by the way, so let's needle him about that.
But I do drink tea. It's damn good tea and hot.
Yeah, well.
Actually, it's kind of
not
cold.
hot,
It's kind
though.
of cold.
Right.
Yeah, we've been at this for 2 hours, so it's kind of
Yeah.
cooled off now.
All right. Speaking of which,
Yes.
we're
gonna
gonna let it go.
We're gonna go watch Westworld.
We love you. Yeah, seriously, we both have not seen the season finale of Westworld, so we're gonna go do that right now.
No spoilers, everybody.
And we're gonna talk to you next week
Bye.
on.
Bye, everyone.
Cut off. That's not right. Wow.